Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mythbuster 2.0. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen and you can hear me properly. Great, great, great. Okay. Many of you are already online. We will wait for a little while for some more people to join in. In the meantime, I will introduce myself and we'll know what was this quiz all about. So basically, we at Quizarc strive to make quizzing more approachable to the masses. So we want to make quizzing like not a niche thing which is only practiced by a chosen few, but something which can be done by everyone. So basically, we at Quizarc, that is our endeavor. You can subscribe to the channel for more such quizzes. We come up with quizzes regularly. You must be knowing we are live at Quizarc on Instagram, and also we have our website www.quizarc.com, where we share some nitty-gritties of quizzing and in-depth analysis of quizzing, how to be a better quizzer, things like that. You can check it out, www.quizarc.com, if you are interested in if you are deeply interested in quizzing. Okay. Okay, so this was Mythbuster. This was actually the second edition of Mythbuster. The first one I did back in 2021, right in the middle of the pandemic. It got a really good response, and that's why I thought to come up with the second version of Mythbuster, that is Mythbuster 2.0. The basic premise of Mythbuster is to unlearn a few things. We are taught a lot of things in our school through our textbooks, which basically do not hold true at this point of time. So the main endeavor of Mythbuster, and that is why I made it exclusively for the school students, was that you get to know a few things, you get to unlearn a few things, things which you have been taught, but things which are actually not true. Okay, so that was the basic premise of Mythbuster. A lot of you have joined in, so without further ado, let me start. So the first point, the first part is discussing the questions, and then we will slowly reveal the winners of the quiz. Okay, give me a thumbs up in the chat box if you're ready to begin. On a Monday night, Monday evening, you have joined in. Thanks a lot for that. So yes, I see a lot of you, Biswajit, Saurabh, Rishiraj, a lot of you are online. Okay, so our quiz was divided into two parts. The first part was on India, that had 10 questions. Let's begin with that. The first question. Okay, so as soon as you see the questions, you can give in the answers in the text YouTube comments, and I will see how many of you cracked the questions correctly. So the first question was this: the title Mahatma, with reference to Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, was first used by whom? There were options were Subhash Chandra Bose, Rabindranath Tagore, Dr. Pranjivan Mehta, and the British. A lot of you, Rishiraj, Aniket, Sumantraj is saying Rabindranath Tagore. But is it indeed Rabindranath Tagore? Let's see. It is not. So the title of Mahatma was first used with reference to Mahatma Gandhi by Dr. Pranjivan Das Jagjivan Das Mehta. So Dr. Pranjivan Das Mehta was a very good friend of Mahatma Gandhi, who was a doctor of medicine and barrister by education. He was a jeweler by profession and a very close friend of Mahatma Gandhi, who also helped him for his return from South Africa to India. So Dr. Pranjivan Mehta, in a letter addressed to G.K. Gokhale in 1909, first addressed to Gandhi as Mahatma, and that was actually the first documentary evidence of anyone calling Gandhiji Mahatma. Okay, but later Rabindranath Tagore also started calling him Mahatma, and from that point onwards it caught on. But our question was, who was the first? And that is indeed Dr. Pranjivan Mehta. Let's see how many of you could crack this correctly. Only 14 out of 171 responses was correct. And let's make a little game out of this. So in any question, if we see less than 50% of the answers are correct, we will say that we have busted a myth in that question. So indeed, this question was a myth buster. Only 14, 8.2% could crack this one correctly. Let's move on to the next question. The next question was, who was the first Indian to land on moon? The options were Rakesh Sharma, Ravish Malhotra, Somnath Sharma, and none of the above. Let's see the answers. Biswajit says D, none. Sunny Gupta says Rakesh. Status Adda says Rakesh Sharma. Let's see what is the answer. The answer is D, no one. So Rakesh Sharma was the first Indian to travel to space, but Rakesh Sharma never landed on the moon. He only went to the space. He said those famous words, how does India look from above? He said Sare Jahan Se Acha, and he returned back. He never went to the space. This is one of the dicey things which is believed by many in the generation, that Rakesh Sharma went to moon. Let's see what was the answer and how many of you could crack it correctly. Only 34.5%. 59 of you could crack this one correctly. Kudos to you who could catch that part and did not misinterpret the moon as space. Well done to everyone who got this one correct. This was another Mythbuster. 2 questions, 2 Mythbuster. Okay, let's see how was the third question. Indeed, Vivek Banerjee, Somnath Sharma was indeed the first Paramveer Chakra awardee. Good point of information. Good. You can also contribute in this way. You can give us various things you know in the comment box. That will be beneficial for everyone. Now, question number 3 was this. You see a symbol around here. You had to tell us what is this symbol. Is this a swastika? Is this a sauwastika? Is it a supervantha, or is it none of the above? Rishiraj Das says swastika. Sunny Gupta says swastika definitely. Okay, do we have any other answers? Status Adda says swastika. Left facing swastika, and the answer indeed is swastika. Okay, so a swastika is the clockwise orientation of the symbol and the right facing symbol, and the left facing symbol is called the swastika. The swastika is associated with tantric aspects in the Hindu mythology. It is associated with the goddess Kali, and it is also very deeply embedded in the Buddhist philosophy. It is a variation of swastika, but it is called swastika in Hindu traditions. Yes, Jackson, indeed, yes. The left and the right, that makes all the difference. Let's see, how did you fare? Only 29 out of 172 of you could get this one correctly. Congratulations to everyone who paid close attention, and this was indeed the swastika. Sumantraj says first 3 and first 3 wrong. Indeed, that is actually one of the one of the aims of this quiz, to bust the commonly held knowledge and know things in depth. Saurav Chaudhary, yes indeed, these are tricky questions. Let's move on to the fourth one. The fourth one was this, one of the tougher questions of the quiz. It was about some paintings. You had 4 options and you had to choose which of these is the costliest painting made by an Indian artist sold in an auction. Sorry. So you had 4. Indeed, the fourth one is by drawing by Mamta Banerjee. Well done, Ultimate Quizzing, for recognizing this one. Let's see what are the answers coming in. Most of you are saying it's B. Bhavya Pandey. Vivek Banerjee is saying B. Let's see what's the correct answer. The correct answer is A. A was a painting, an untitled painting by modern Indian artist V.S. Gaitonde. No relation with Gaitonde from Sacred Games. So Gaitonde, V.S. Gaitonde is one of the most famous Indian artists, and his paintings get sold in crores. So this particular painting from 1969 was sold for 42 crores. The other paintings, the second and the third one was by M.F. Hussain, and the fourth one was, as correctly recognized, was by Mamta Banerjee, which also sold for around 9 crores, but that was not sold in an auction. That was sold to a private collector, which later became a very controversial issue. But the correct answer for this question was the first painting, which was painted by V.S. Gaitonde, one of the prominent artists of modern Indian art. Okay. The third one was a painting by M.F. Hussain. Moving on to the next question. Okay, let's see. Only 17.6%, 29 of you could get this one correctly, but I agree this was tough question. Most of us know about Amrita Shergill and M.F. Hussain, but very few know about V.S. Gaitonde, and that was the point for which this question was kept in the quiz. Okay, let's move on to the next question quickly. This was one of the easier questions. You had to identify this is the state animal of which Indian state or union territory. There were 4 options: Nagaland, Tripura, Meghalaya, and Ladakh. Vivek Banerjee is saying D, Ladakh. Sunny Gupta, Rishiraj Jackson, everyone is saying Meghalaya. And Meghalaya is indeed the correct answer. This is the clouded leopard. The clouded leopard is the state animal of Meghalaya. A close one, a snow leopard, is the state animal of Ladakh. The clouded leopard was in news last year when this was used as the mascot of the new Northeastern Olympic Games, as you can see in the post made by Conrad Sangma. Sunny Gupta, first correct answer. Rishiraj, first correct answer. Congratulations. This was indeed Meghalaya. Let's see. An overwhelming majority, 65.1%, cracked this one correctly. Well done. Moving on to the next question was this: in which Indian state would you find this monument? It looks very, very familiar. Let's see. Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, or Maharashtra? Biswajit Saha says Uttar Pradesh. Q9 quizzing, it says Maharashtra, Bibi Ka Maqbara. Indeed, this is Bibi Ka Maqbara and not Taj Mahal. Although it bears a striking resemblance to the Taj Mahal, this is indeed Bibi Ka Maqbara, which is in Aurangabad, Maharashtra. Bibi Ka Maqbara was built in 1660s by Aurangzeb's son Azim Shah in memory of his mother Dilras Banu Begum. One interesting fact is that Bibi Ka Maqbara was built by Ataullah. The architect of Bibi Ka Maqbara was Ataullah, who was actually the son of Ustad Ahmed Lahori, who built the Taj Mahal. So Aurangabad, Maharashtra is where you will find Bibi Ka Maqbara, and let's see how you fared for this question. Okay, 57.9%, 99 of you could crack this one correctly. Well done. Vivek Banerjee, no, Aurangzeb didn't build it. It was built, it was actually commissioned by his son, Azim Shah. Aurangzeb was still alive when this was being built, but he didn't commission it. Okay, well done. Everyone, more than 50% could crack this one correctly. Let's quickly move on to the next question. Okay, another easy one. Who was the first Indian to climb the Mount Everest? You had 4 options: Tenzing Norgay, Avtar Singh Chima, Bachendri Pal, or Arunima Sinha. Viswajit Saha says A, Tenzing Norgay. Vivek Banerjee, Saurav says Chima. Indeed, this is Avtar Singh Chima. He was an Indian Army veteran. Tenzing Norgay was the first person to go to the Mount Everest, but he was of Nepalese origin. He was not an Indian technically. So Avtar Singh Chima would be the correct answer. He ascended Mount Everest in 1965. He was actually accompanied by Nawang Gombu Sherpa. Nawang Gombu Sherpa was also the first person to climb Mount Everest twice. Okay, some tidbits of information along with every question. I did promise you that you will learn something new in this from this video. So yes, very good. 66.1%, 113 out of 171 correct responses. You guys are good quizzers. Well done. Next question coming up on your screen was this. Which was Amir Khan's first movie portraying the role of a cricketer? From geography to history, we slowly move on to the Bollywood. First question from Bollywood. Lagan, Holi, Kamat Se Kamat Tak or Avval Number? Tarun Anand says Avval Number. Ultimate Quizzing says Lagan. Biswajit Saha says Lagan. It is not Lagan, although Lagan is a very popular sports movie featuring cricket. The correct answer is Avval Number. Avval Number was a movie directed by Dev Anand, and this featured Amir Khan in the lead role. So Amir Khan later said in an interview that Avval Number is the only movie which is signed without reading the script. It was not a very memorable movie, but yeah, one interesting fact is that Devanand actually considered Imran Khan, the captain and later Prime Minister of Pakistan, to play a role in this movie, but which he declined. But the correct answer is Avval Number. Let's see. Okay, only 36.6%, 63 of you knew that Avval Number was a movie in which Amir Khan played the role of a cricketer before Lagan. Well done, and this is another myth which we are busting here. Moving on, next question. Another cricket related question from Bollywood cricket to real life cricket. Let's see. Which Indian cricketer has the highest test average till date? There is a minimum criteria mentioned. He needs to have played more than 5 matches. Saurav Chaudhary is saying Karun Nair. Beast is saying Kamli. Samir is saying Karun Nair. Let's see what is the answer. The answer is Karun Nair. Obviously, at present, Yashasvi Jaiswal with his brilliant knock of 171 is at the top, but he has played only 1 match. Karun Nair, having played 6 matches and 7 innings, has an average of 62.33. Is indeed the highest, has the highest test average among Indians. You will be amazed to see some unknown names here ahead of the known names. Vinod Kamli, a very good friend of Sachin Tendulkar, is actually ahead of Sachin Tendulkar in the test average. He has 54.2 as opposed to 53.78 by Sachin Tendulkar. For this question, indeed, minimum 5 matches played. Karun Nair is the correct answer. Let's see how many of you could crack this one correctly. 51, only 29.7. The answers were quite divided in this one. All the options got almost similar percentage of marks, but Karun Nair is indeed the correct answer. Sunny Gupta, thank you. A lot of these questions require a lot of research, which you will appreciate, and thanks a lot. Moving on to the next question is this. This was perhaps one of the easiest of the lot. According to Ramayana, who founded the city of Ayodhya? This was the final question of our India round. You had options Dasaratha, Manu, Lord Krishna or Samudragupta. Samir, Biswajit, Saurav, everyone is saying Manu, and Manu is indeed the correct answer. The eponymous first man according to the Hindu mythology, Manu is said to be the he is said to be the founder of the city of Ayodhya, which later went to the Ishkvaku dynasty, from which Lord Rama and Dasharatha came. Manu is indeed the correct answer, and an overwhelming majority, 84.9%, 146 of you knew this was this to be correct, and that is really well done. Congratulations everyone who got this one correct. And with that, we would be moving towards a more global approach. From India, we move towards the world. 10 questions from the world. The first one was this: which was the first successfully cloned animal? You had four options. Was it a tadpole, a carp, sheep, or a monkey? Let's see the answer. Vivek Banerjee says Dolly the sheep. Samir is saying sheep. Saurav Chaudhary sheep. Stadasa does sheep. Everyone is saying it's sheep. Dolly the sheep is the most famous cloned animal, but is it the first one? I'm afraid it's not. A tadpole was the first animal which was cloned, and that happened back in 1952. So in 1952, two scientists by the name of Thomas King and Robert Briggs, they replaced the nucleus of an egg with the nucleus from a developing embryo, making a clone tadpole. After the tadpole came the carp, the mouse, cattle, sheep, and then in 1996 came famous Dolly the sheep. Let me ask you a simple question. Let's see. Who was Dolly the sheep named after? Anyone who in the chat box? Dolly the sheep was named after whom? Let's see if you know this tidbit from the world of pop culture. Okay, I don't see the answers. Maybe my screen is logging. Dolly the sheep was actually named after Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, Vivek Banerjee is indeed. Dolly Parton, the famous pop star. Yes. The reasoning is a little complicated. I don't want to share this in a school quiz, but indeed this was Dolly Parton. Next, let's see. Tadpole received only 7.6% of the correct answer. Only 13 of you knew this to be correct. This was a huge mythbuster. So a sheep was not the first animal to be cloned. It was a tadpole. Next question, moving on. Who coined the phrase survival of the fittest? We are still in the territory of biology. Charles Darwin, Herbert Spencer, Auguste Comte, or Max Weber. Who was the person who coined the phrase survival of the fittest? Quinine, Samir, Tarun, everyone is saying Herbert Spencer, and Herbert Spencer is indeed the correct answer. Although the theory of evolution was given by Charles Darwin, but Herbert Spencer, while reading up on Charles Darwin's book, coined the phrase survival of the fittest in his book, The Principles of Biology. So, although it was inspired by Darwin, it was not Darwin himself who actually coined this term, survival of the fittest. It was done by Herbert Spencer. Okay, 62.2%, 107 of you knew this. That is absolutely amazing to know. Mostly people associate survival of the fittest with Charles Darwin, but Herbert Spencer is the person who coined this phrase. Well done, everyone. Moving on to the next question was this. In which countries did the fortune cookies originate? You must have seen fortune cookies, a little bit of cookies inside which you have some thought or some prediction about the future. Japan, China, USA, or Afghanistan. Although fortune cookies nowadays is mostly associated with China, they actually did not originate in China. The fortune cookies are a Japanese product. They originally came up from Japan. So actually there is a type of a dessert, which was eaten in Japan in the 18th and 19th centuries, which is called Sujiura Senbei. Sujiura Senbei is actually the predecessor for this fortune cookies, which was made popular in San Francisco, USA by Japanese immigrant Makoto Hagiwara, and from there it conquered the world. It spread all over the world. So Japan is the correct answer. They originated in Japan, moved to USA, and then went through the world. China is not involved in any place. So Japan, 71.5% of you knew this to be correct. That is good to know. Well done. We will be quickly moving on to the next question. Question number 14, the fourth question was of the international round was this. Who founded the company Tesla Motors? Tesla, one of the biggest names in the world of business these days. The owner of Tesla is the richest man in the world. But did he found the company? Was he the founder? Is Elon Musk the founder of Tesla? The answer is no. Tesla was originally founded by Mark Tarpenning and Martin Eberhard back in 2003. So what happened was that Elon Musk had just sold PayPal and had a lot of money in his hands. He had 100 million odd dollars in his hands. So he invested around 6.5 million from that amount, and he became a majority shareholder of Tesla in 2004, and then the rest is all history, and now he is the richest man in the planet. So let's see, how did you fare for this question? Oh, that's nice. 58.5%, 100 of you knew that this was not Elon Musk, and it was indeed Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Brilliantly well done. Okay, moving on to question number 15. What is the national sport of Brazil? This is one of those straightforward questions, but is it? So the last time we asked what is the national sport of India, in which most of you gave the wrong answer. Let's see. Samir is saying none, Chaitanya is saying capoeira, Viswajit Saha is saying volleyball. So actually all the three sports, volleyball, football and capoeira is played in Brazil, but only one has the status of the national sport, and that game is capoeira. Capoeira is a martial art game. It's an Afro-Brazilian martial art which involves dancing, acrobatics, music, spirituality, all those things. So that game has the status of the national game of Brazil. Football is not the national game of Brazil as per the Brazilian constitution. Same as hockey is not the national game of India, which many of us believe to be so. That was one of the myths which we busted in our previous edition of Mythbuster. And in this edition, we got to know that capoeira is the national sport of Brazil and not football. Let's see. Yeah, this was a major Mythbuster. Only 24% of you knew this. We'll be quickly moving on to the next question. Okay. Oh, another interesting, very interesting question, a quite topical one. Let's see how many of you could crack this correctly. What is the nickname? What was the nickname of the first ever successful atomic bomb? Was it Trinity or Little Boy or Fat Man or the Gadget? Biswajit Saha, Samir is saying Little Boy. Chaitanya Prabhakar is saying Gadget. Vivek Banerjee is saying the Gadget. Let's see what is the answer. The answer is indeed the Gadget. So basically, during the Trinity tests in Manhattan, during the Trinity tests, the first atom bomb that was tested was called the Gadget. After that, the two atomic bombs which were actually dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki were called Little Man and Fat Boy. But the first bomb which was tested during the Trinity tests was called the Gadget. And very interestingly, the name the Gadget was given to this bomb by Oppenheimer. So what happened was that everyone was referring to this as the bomb which Oppenheimer didn't like. He didn't like the word bomb associated with this thing. So he, just like we give nicknames, he gave the nickname the Gadget to this first bomb which was tested during the Trinity tests in the New Mexico desert. Oppenheimer is obviously in news because of the upcoming Christopher Nolan movie. I am sure you guys are excited about it. So am I. Let's see how many of you could crack this one. Only 34, 19.8% knew that the first atomic bomb, the first successful atomic bomb was called the Gadget. Everyone who knew this, well done. Quickly moving on to the next one. Okay. Till date, who is the only person to win both a Booker Prize and an Oscar? The only person in the history till date to win both the Booker and Oscar. Biswajit Saha is saying Bob Dylan. Vivek Banerjee is saying B. Ruth Pravar Zawala. Let's see what is the answer. The answer is Ruth Pravar Zawala. So Ruth Pravar Zawala was married to the famous architect Cyrus Zawala, and she actually got the Booker Prize for her novel Heat and Dust, which released in 1975, and then she won 2 Oscars for Best Adapted Screenplay, A Room with a View in 1986 and Howard's End in 1992. Indeed, Vivek, Bernard Shaw won the Oscar and the Nobel first, followed by Bob Dylan. That is absolutely correct. But none of them won a Booker Prize, Booker Award, and that was indeed Ruth Pravar Zawala. Let's see. Okay, a lot of you, 76.2% knew that this was indeed Ruth Pravar Zawala. That is very heartening to know. We are almost in the last phase of the quiz. Last phase, the last 3 questions. Let's see those questions, and then we will slowly reveal who were the top performers of this edition of Mythbusters. This question asks, according to a Taiwanese coach whom you see on the left, who is the person on the right who learned judo from him? Was it Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia? Was it Osama bin Laden, the feared terrorist? Was it Ayatollah Khomeini from Iran? Or was it none of the above? Sunny, Samir, Saurav, Risiraj, everyone is saying this is Osama. Indeed, according to this judo coach, whose name is Jimmy Woo, he taught Osama bin Laden while he was coaching the Saudi Arabia national judo team back in 1984. So Laden was, according to him, Laden was participating from his university. The coach told him, "You are too young to pursue judo," but Laden's perseverance, actually, he says that Laden's perseverance made him give that up, and he actually taught Osama bin Laden judo for a while. Moving on to the final 2 questions. The second last question, question number 19, was this one. Okay, 76% of you knew this to be correct. This was one of the easier questions. Well done to everyone who cracked this correctly. The next question was this: which of the following brands is named after a Greek goddess? Sephora, Nike, Mars, or Pandora? Sunny Gupta, indeed, he trained a very dangerous man. Tarun Anand, Nike. Biswajit Saha, Nike. Sunny Gupta says Sephora. Kronos Jackson is saying Sephora. This is actually one of those double whammy questions. The simplest answer is the correct answer in this one. Nike is the correct answer. Nike was the goddess of victory, and the brand Nike was named after her. But the options were quite confusing. Sephora is actually named after the wife of Moses, Sephora. Pandora is named after the first lady from, according to the Greek mythology, Pandora. And Mars was actually named after the owner of the company Mars, Franklin Clarence Mars. It was not named after the god of war Mars. So Nike is the correct answer. Nike was named after the Greek goddess of victory, Let's see. Okay, I have missed the one missed the correct answers part in this question, but a lot of you did guess this one correctly. Well done. This was the last question. The last question was, who invented the first commercially successful steam engine? Was it Thomas Newcomen, James Watt, Alessandro Volta, or Isaac Newton? Biswajit Saha is saying it's James Watt. Vivek Banerjee is saying it's Newcomen. The correct answer is Thomas Newcomen. So Thomas Newcomen devised the atmospheric engine, which you see in your screens, which was developed in the year 1712, and it basically operated on the principle of lifting water out of tin mine. And James Watt, later in 1764, he modified this steam engine model by actually removing the spent steam to separate a vessel for condensation, and thus he made the system much more efficient, and thus began the industrial revolution, which was inspired by the steam engine. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the quiz. I hope you really liked the quiz, you liked the content of the quiz. If you did, then do subscribe to the channel. Stay subscribed. We do keep coming up with more quizzes like this. But now it's time for the interesting part. Let's see who are the winners. Kronos, thanks a lot. Tarun Anand, thanks a lot. So the top score. Okay, let's. This was given by 76%. Okay, so the top score of the quiz was 17 marks. Actually all the top three got 17 points, and only they were separated by the timing. The first one, the first, second, and third, everyone scored 17, and they were only separated by a few seconds. So the competition was really tough. There were some other people who got really good points. A lot of you got 16, and the median score, as I shared yesterday, was around 9. Okay, let's see. The second runner-up of the quiz is Ayush Agarwal. Ayush, congratulations, you did really good. 17 points in this tough quiz is not a simple thing. Ayush Agarwal, congratulations. Second runners up. Then first runners up of the quiz is Tanushri Jha, who also scored 17 points, and she was ahead of Ayush by only a few seconds, but that gives her the coveted first runners up title. Congratulations, Tanushri. And the winner, drumrolls please, of Mythbuster 2.0, the champion, our champion Mythbuster, is Sneha Jha, who also got 17 points. But her answer, we received her answer really much before the other two, and she is the champion Mythbuster of Mythbuster 2.0. Once again, please do subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends who you think would benefit from this knowledge. Our endeavor to learn, unlearn, and learn some more will continue in the future. Stay with Quizarc, stay subscribed to the channel, follow us on Instagram as you are already doing, and you have been an amazing audience. Thank you, and here we are saying good night. Goodbye.